Yo, what's up everyone, and welcome to the 16th Formula 1 Grand Prix review here for the Turkish Grand Prix. So yeah, as per usual, we will take a look at a bunch of videos, discuss a bunch of things from the Grand Prix weekend. There is a little bit to talk about, even though it wasn't the most insane Grand Prix. We will then take a look at Reddit, do a bit of a recap for the week of that, and then check out F1 Fantasy and F1 Play. But first off, let's start it off with the live watch-along reactions from my Twitch channel. Schumacher makes Q2! His first Q2 appearance. Well done. And Russell should be in there easily. Ricciardo's at risk. Oh no, Sainz about to knock Ricciardo out. Thank God I took Ricciardo out of my team. I took McLaren off. Yes. Yes! I don't hate Ricciardo, but I purposely took McLaren out of my team this week because I didn't think he was going to do well in qualifying. And he didn't. So I'm happy with that. That sucks for Ricciardo though. Again, Ricciardo is showing that when the circumstances aren't right for him, he's not delivering in that McLaren, even though he's got that win at Monza. All right, that was an interesting Q1. So Mazepin's out. 9 tenths off of Raikkonen. Very, very poor lap from Mazepin. And not only that, he was 4.1 seconds off his teammate Mazepin was. Mercedes, maybe even McLaren. No, Russell. No. He would have made it to Q3. He's going to be pissed. Come on, Leclerc. Oh, Leclerc's still on the mediums. Please. Fuck. That sucks for Russell. Come on, Leclerc. Don't throw. Woo! Hey, Leclerc P4. Let's go. That's what we wanted. Okay, that was a bit of a confusing qualifying. That was confusing because Lewis went out early. Gasly still could have done another lap, but he didn't. Leclerc had a late lap. Verstappen didn't improve. No one really improved. Okay, quality's done. Hamilton P1. He's obviously going to take a 10th place grid penalty, but well done on pole position. The Mercedes have definitely made strides in the second half of the season. No car. Oh, Gasly and Alonso's round. I think that's Alonso's fault. There's so much water getting kicked out right now. Oh, okay. Gasly might get a pen for that. Alonso hooked it around the outside perfectly, and Gasly understeered out into Alonso. Yeah, I think Gasly will get a pen. If Gasly doesn't get a pen there, I'll be surprised. Oh. And then Alonso just killed Mick. Oh my God, poor Mick. Oh, poor Mick just got fucking clapped up. Lewis is going for it. Round the outside. Oh, lovely move. It took him 8 laps though. So props to Tsunoda for doing that. In the wet, rookie. Well done. Oh, Sainz going for it on Vettel. Oh, they've hit. Is Vettel round? Sainz got past, but did he spin Vettel? No. Bro, what are these shitty onboards? Oh. See, part of me going back to the thing I was saying about Gasly before, if you make a mistake going for an overtake, you deserve a pen, but Vettel's race wasn't ruined. So do you look at the penalty and be like, well, Sainz went deep, barged him out of the way, made a mistake, barged him out of the way, give him a pen? Or do you go, that's rough, but he doesn't deserve a penalty because he didn't ruin Vettel's race? It's a tough one. And Hamilton's past. Yeah, exactly what I said before. I don't see Gasly defending Hamilton because Gasly's going to want to keep his pace for the other guys around him. Oh, I think Lewis is going to get him here. This is going to be tight. Perez defends. Good defending. Hamilton's going down the inside. Oh, all right, they're side by side still. Go Perez! Go Perez! He's sending it! Yes! He holds it. Let's go! And before Perez gets a pen for cutting the bollard. Nah, he wouldn't, because he got pushed out there. Lovely stuff. That's what we want to see. Lovely.
Opinion that it's going to keep raining and the track is not going to be drying up for slicks.
Let's still give a round of applause to FIA's new system for safety that is giving much slower pit stops to every single team for no reason. Did you see that? If you didn't see it, Gunman is standing there like this, yet the light's still not going green. So fucking stupid. It's so fucking stupid. Shout out Sainz's fantastic race getting ruined by RNG in the pit lane. Love it. Vettel on the meds. Bottas has gone inters. Did they get the wrong tires? Vettel is spinning. What's he doing? Leclerc win, guys? Leclerc win? Do I hear Leclerc win? I'm thinking Leclerc win here. Leclerc woke up and chose win. Maybe Leclerc made a mistake. That's why he lost 2 seconds. Yeah, okay. So he's not slower in pace on Bottas. He's just lost time on these mistakes. Okay, please, man. Stop making mistakes. Please. And you've won the race. Stop making mistakes and you won the race. Holy shit.
What are we looking for in terms of position? If we can keep Bottas behind P1.
What the fuck is that? That's the shittest engineer radio I've ever heard. Yeah, I think if Leclerc stays out, he secures a podium here. He's defending Bottas. Don't fuck it. Don't fuck it. Oh, Bottas gets past. I want to see a Hamilton.
Sorry, Jensen. Ferrari are going to pit.
Why? 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 You're just throwing away a podium. Unless they think that these fresh tires are going to allow him to catch Hamilton. But that's like 12 seconds, is it not?
They think that cloud is going to come.
What is happening? He's just throwing away a podium. Why did they pit? I don't get it. My brain is hurting. Gasly might get Lewis. Oh my God. Can you imagine Lewis after the race? Come on, Gasly. Last week, the drivers don't listen to the engineer. This week, they listen to the engineer and they fucked it. Yep, Giovinazzi just got past Ricciardo. We're not looking at it though, because broadcast things, but... Can you show us Ricciardo? Wait, Bottas has only won 9 races? I swear that shocks me every single time. A clap is reserved for Bottas. Oh, and he ends it with the fastest lap. Not the most entertaining win for Bottas, but his 10th win in Formula 1. Nice, nice, nice. And Verstappen coming home in P2. That is good for the championship for Max, with where Lewis is finishing. Perez, good drive. Great decision from Red Bull, to be honest. They just played into Mercedes and Leclerc's mistake, to be honest. So yeah, it wasn't the most insane Grand Prix, but I felt it was still entertaining in the sense of like, we didn't really know who was going to win for a while there, or like where everyone was going to place. Yeah, by no means do I think it was boring. Yeah, I just feel like there's been so much chaos this year that even when there's a decent average Grand Prix like that, it might make it look worse than what it was. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad, especially when you compare it to 2020 and 2019 races. But yeah, anyways, let's get into the race highlights and discuss a few things. I was very surprised how clean it was. Oh, don't worry. All right, to talk about Alonso's spin real quick. I'll be honest. I think the 5-second pen was pretty fair. I know people are going to disagree with that, but that's just my personal opinion. I think Gasly had a little bit more room on his inside. I mean, when you look at it there, Perez was almost cutting the corner, essentially, the curb, essentially. But when you look at Pierre's onboard, I do think he broke a little bit late. It almost felt like he broke at the dry line, which caused him to understeer out into Alonso. You can see there, like, he had way more room to be turning in here and not have to go out so wide into Alonso. And you can see Gasly's trajectory afterwards was out over to the curb. So I do personally think that's a fair 5-second penalty. It is 50-50 at the end of the day. I heard Alex Albon and Will Buxton on the post-race show were discussing how you shouldn't get pens for stuff that isn't dangerous. You know, it just depends how you look at racing. For me, I think if you ruin another driver's race by your own mistake, be it Lewis Hamilton at Silverstone where he understeers out into Max, or this situation where Gasly understeers out into Alonso, if you ruin someone's race, I think you deserve a 5-second pen at the very least. But yeah, but then you could look at it as like, oh, Gasly wasn't doing anything dangerous. You know, that's racing. He made a mistake. He locked up. You know, he wasn't doing anything crazy. He doesn't deserve a 5-second pen. It was first lap, first corner. So I think it just depends how you look at racing. I think it's a 5 seconds. However, he got 2 license points for this. This is stupid. License points should only be handed out for bad behavior, in my opinion, or like dangerous behavior, I should say. You know, first lap incident, first corner, shit happens. You get a 5-second pen, cool, cop on the chin. But you get two license points. He didn't do anything dangerous. Like I don't get that. I don't get that, man. At the end of the day, I think a lot of people put Formula 1 races on a pedestal of like it needs to be S tier every Grand Prix. But I think we got to remember, just like any other sport, that it has the chance of sometimes not delivering. And at the end of the day, it's entertainment. And if you weren't entertained throughout that 58 lap race, then I don't know what the fuck you're watching, because I was constantly on the edge thinking like, who's going to win? Who's going to get a podium? You know, are they going to pit? Are they not going to pit? Is the wet going to stop? Is the wet not going to stop? There's some decent racing at some points as well. I don't know. That's entertaining to me. So I don't know. If someone can watch that race and not be entertained, then they must be watching for very, very different reasons than what I watch Formula 1 for. Not that there's a problem with that, but I just feel like, yeah, at the end of the day, it's a sport that's meant to entertain us, and I was entertained. Yeah, it could have been better though. It wasn't obviously in Azerbaijan or France, Hungary, or any other Grand Prix that we had this year. But it's still entertaining. Like, to sit down on a Sunday and watch that race, I enjoyed it. But it was obviously still like a C tier for me. Yeah. Oh, I'll quickly just talk about the broadcast. It was better this week, but they still missed a few things. I think the ending with Ricciardo on the 2 Alfa Romeos. Don't know why they didn't show that. And there's a few other overtakes that they missed, but it was much better than last week. Holy shit. Like, I think a race like this, you compare to football, right? Sometimes you go to a football game and you'll have a fucking 4-3 goal match where it comes down to the last 10 minutes where another team scores, right? This was kind of like a 0-0 or a 1-1 game where like not much really happened, but the whole 90 minutes or the whole 58 laps, you're kind of sitting there being entertained by the fact of what's going to happen next. You know what I mean? And a lot of sports are like that. Is like waiting for it to happen. You know, there are sports like basketball where they're constantly fucking slamming shit in the net every 2 seconds, but sometimes it's not all sports are the same, you know. I don't think Perez, he had a lot of room. Look at that. He had a lot of room to go down the hill there, I think. What, is Alonso not meant to go for the move there? I don't get it, you know. Real quick, we got to run this back real quick because they didn't show it. Alonso took out Schumacher. He got a 5-second penalty for that. Deserved, in my opinion. I think that was obviously way more clear cut than the Gasly one. He, for some reason, just fucking dived him from so far back, nowhere near alongside, in the wet, completely took out Mick. Deserved the 5-second at the end of the day. You could even argue maybe even deserves a 10-second just because he was so far back, and it was just, it was a bit of a dangerous, silly move, in my opinion, that just ruined Mick's race for no reason, and Alonso came off unscathed. So yeah, but anyway, it was deserved. And poor Mick, man, he had a good qualifying and wanted to kind of run in the pack for a little bit, but yeah, in the end he ended up beating Mazepin by a decent amount, so it didn't affect him in the head-to-head with his teammate. Yuki, well done. He qualified on the softs, which kind of helped him in the race because he probably would have his strategy would have been fucked if he had to start on the softs. But anyway, everyone ended up starting at inters, so he wasn't too bad. He held off Lewis for like 7 laps. It was really good to see. And then Lewis did a fantastic move to get past. This was so nice. I saw a few people bad on Twitter saying Sainz should have got a pen for this. And again, you could argue, do you get a pen? I mean, if you go back to what I was saying about Gasly, if you ruin someone's race, whether how bad it is or not, you should get a pen. But he didn't ruin Vettel's race. He slightly locked up, went a little bit out, a little bit too deep, hit Vettel. Vettel had no damage. You don't get a pen for that. No. If he had a fucking broken Vettel's wing, yes, it probably should be a 5-second pen. But at the end of the day, racing's racing, and if you're not ruining the other driver's race, then I don't think it should even be looked at, to be honest. Yeah, thank God they didn't get damaged. If anything, Sainz probably would have got damage from out on this floor, but didn't look like it. And yeah, both Gasly and Norris just didn't bother defending Lewis. They knew that they weren't racing him. This was a sick battle. Round the bollard, back in, still going, and Perez stays ahead. That was sick. Real quick, go back to the bollard thing though. So yeah, they're going side by side in the corner. Perez is significantly alongside the entire time, fully alongside, and then Lewis obviously slightly pushes him out wide. You know, it's nothing bad from Lewis. It's just what happens when you're driving to that extent, and especially in the wet. And Perez has to go around the bollard. You know, obviously Mercedes could argue, oh, he went around the bollard, which gave him significant speed in the next corner to keep along ahead. But at the same time, you know, maybe Lewis should have broke slightly earlier and given him more space. Who cares? No one should be mad at that. He went around the bollard and they're racing, and who cares? So then, this was very interesting to me. Vettel then came out on the meds. There was a point in the Grand Prix. I'm not going to say, you know, I'm not going to say these guys are dumb, because I thought the same thing. I was thinking, if they're all driving around on 38 old lap inters that are pretty much worn down and have no wet tread anymore, they're essentially almost slicks, why don't these guys just go out on a fresh set of softs? But obviously, I think the temperature that the inters had helped a lot. But the thing that was interesting to me was Vettel going in the meds. I know the tire dig at Turkey was a lot, but 20 laps on the softs and damp conditions, I feel like that would have been fine to go 20 laps. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit confused why he went on the meds, which are harder to warm up, not as much grip. It was a bit interesting to me. Either way, it was very risky. I think Aston Martin were going for a Hail Mary here. Apparently, that he was in like 10th or something, 10th, 11th, trying to get like 6th or 5th or something, throw away the 1 point to try to get as many places as possible on the dries. But at the end of the day, I'm not a professional, so you know, my judgment was wrong, but like very clearly the wrong mistake, the wrong strategy. So it's interesting they did it. Okay, so this was the interesting point of the Grand Prix. As a Leclerc fan as well, this was a very interesting point. So essentially everyone except for Leclerc, Hamilton, and Ocon had pit around this time. Essentially at this point it was too late. Or not too late, but it was like that fine line of like, if you pit now, you're gonna get slightly undercut or undercut by the guys who've already pit. They'd already pit kind of too late, but they could now risk going long on their inters and go the entire race, no stop. And Leclerc could potentially finish first, second, or third, and Hamilton could finish fourth or fifth. But they ended up doing the worst thing possible, in my opinion, which is you go too long, so you completely get fucking undercut, and then you don't take the risk. You know what I mean? Like they were going. You kind of got to commit. If you're gonna pit 10 laps later than the other team, just commit at that point. I honestly think, especially with how Ocon's tires ended, they look pretty decent. And the news coming out overnight is that both Hamilton and Leclerc could have gone the whole race 0 stop on those tires. I think Leclerc would have got a podium, and I think Hamilton would have got fifth. 4th, 5th. So yeah, I don't know. Sam Collins reckons there would have been a huge drop off in tires, but we didn't see that on Ocon, so I'm not sure. And then yeah, they both came in with 8 laps to go. 8 laps? What's the fucking point? By the time you get temp in the tires and or wear them down a little bit because it's not that wet, it's just pointless. So yeah, Bottas won the race. Fantastic. He had absolutely killer weekend at Italy. Honestly, probably the best Bottas I've seen since Australia 2019. Like, Mans was on fire at the Italian Grand Prix. And then the Russian Grand Prix, his pace was a little bit off. But he ended up having a great result in the end in 5th place. And then this Grand Prix he won. So well done to Bottas. He's fucking killing it. And yeah, it might not have been the best Grand Prix, but think about where he was last year. 2020 Turkish Grand Prix. 8 spins in the entire race. Finished like 19th. Similar conditions. Not as slippery of a track, obviously, but similar conditions. And won the race. So well done to Bottas. And in a car that probably not as good as last year's car. So well done. Well done. Then we have Max finishing P2. I think that's the best he could have got this weekend. I don't know. I'm very, very surprised by the Red Bull this weekend. The whole year, the Red Bulls look dominant at most tracks, obviously apart from tracks like Russia and Italy and Portugal, where it's probably going to be more favored towards the Mercedes. This track seemed like a track that Red Bull should have been better at, but I don't know. I don't know what went wrong. I don't know if Mercedes had upgrades, if it was just a track that suited Mercedes for some reason or what. But yeah, we'll see next week at Coda. All right, it is time for Reddit recap. Let's get into it. So what we do is we go top of the week and we check everything out. Bottas wins the Turkish Grand Prix. That's really cool to see that he's getting love from the fans. 25,000 upvotes. You know, usually when a Mercedes wins, it's like, boring. But I didn't see any hate about it being a boring Grand Prix because a Mercedes won. It was studio shots at the Red Bull livery. So yes, the lovely Red Bull Honda special livery. So for anyone who doesn't know, it was meant to be the Japanese Grand Prix this weekend, but obviously got cancelled, so it got replaced with Turkey. So they still rocked the livery to say goodbye to Honda because obviously Honda's Japanese, blah blah blah. I think the blue, the navy blue, or the normal Red Bull is a 10 out of 10 livery, and for me the white, it doesn't make it any better, it doesn't make it any worse, it's just different. I really like it. I think from afar it's a bit ugly looking, but up close to the details and it looks so nice. It looks so nice. I especially the halo, it's so sexy. I can't wait for it to be in the F1 game this week. Nice. Prime Fernando Alonso in a nutshell. For those of you who didn't follow F1 at the time, Drivers' Championship, Fernando Alonso 111. Oh shit, who's the other Ferrari driver that only had 11 points? What the hell? Max and Checo in their white suits. I like the white suits, but for some, white makes people look fat. So yeah, Fernando Alonso apologizing to Mick after race. Aww. Yes, Mick, he's into Q2. Yeah, so Mick made it to Q2. Yeah, it's not the first time he made it to Q2. Obviously did it at France, but he obviously was, the reason he made it to Q2 was because he crashed and caused the session a red flag. I like how the rear wing says arigato. Yeah, that was also on the AlphaTauri livery. I didn't notice that until like a few laps left of the Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas, 2 Valtteri enjoy by pole. I thought this was kind of funny because obviously, we haven't spoken about this. Hamilton qualifies on pole position. He's taken a 10-place grid penalty. He goes and does the pole interview. He gets the pole tire, but he doesn't get the pole stat. He doesn't get all the social media doesn't say pole, and for some reason they upload the qualifying lap. They upload Bottas's 2nd place lap. That's fucking stupid. It should be qualifying where you qualify is your stat, right? So if you qualify first, you get the pole stat. You got pole. The 10-place grid penalty is for the race. I think it's so stupid how you don't get the stat for it. Anyways, Lewis, as a bit of a joke, signed 2 Valtteri, enjoy my pole trophy, and then he signed 102 because it's his 102nd pole. So I thought it was kind of funny. Lando chatting with Gordon Ramsay before his appearance on This Morning today. Yeah, if you haven't seen Lando Norris went on This Morning, he talked a little bit about mental health and being a young driver in Formula 1. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool seeing a driver on mainstream media. Ocon, the only driver that didn't start front right after the GP. Yeah, I saw some people being like, oh, it's about to explode. But then some people are saying like, there's still so many more layers before that would have exploded. Incredible battle between Perez and Hamilton. Yeah, that was nuts. The new telemetry graphic on this camera angle was so small, but a nice addition. Yeah, 100%. These cameras on the front nose are very, very low quality. Very low quality. Like, because obviously they have to be small for the front wing. So I think adding that HUD just kind of makes this shot look a bit more more professional. I really like it. And it's just informational as well. Like being able to see their throttle and the brake. So nice. It's so nice. Fernando Alonso will start the Turkish GP from P5, his highest starting position since 2014 Japanese GP. Oh, nice. Fuck, the Alpine looks so good, doesn't it? The last 2 races to be won from 11th on the grid were 2003 Australian GP and the 2012 European GP, held 3,395 days apart. Guess how many days tomorrow will mark since the 2012 European GP. I thought it was kind of funny. Unfortunately, Lewis didn't win from 11th. Can we all take a moment to appreciate Jenson Button's commentary? As we all know, Jenson's very good in these types of conditions. He suggested that it was too late to pit Hamilton and accurately predicted what would happen to Lewis's tires. He said that he would be slower because he has to go through the burning phase, and that's what happened to both Charles and Lewis. Yeah, I agree. I think I love Nico Rosberg because of this information. I think Jenson Button provided a same level-ish of information, but kind of did it in a better commentary way. I'd still probably prefer Nico Rosberg's bluntness and like the way he provides the information, but Nico Rosberg isn't really good at commentating. I think Jensen did a better job of that. But yeah, I think I like how they're mixing up the commentary. Like, not that I hate Martin Brundle, but it's just different vibes to different Grand Prix. I like it. They should be paired alongside Croft. Yeah, so I mean, they should start doing three pairings for commentary like other sports do. FIA confirms a new ICE for Lewis Hamilton for the Turkish GP. Yeah, so Lewis took a 10-place grid penalty for this Grand Prix. They didn't take the full grid penalty because apparently the new engine that Bottas and shit have was having issues. So rather than risking giving it to Lewis, taking a pen to not even use it, they just thought they'd take half a pen and they'll give Lewis the full thing later, or maybe not even use the full thing with the full pen later. Michael Andretti buys Sauber and Colton Herta will drive for Alfa Romeo in 2022. Wait, is this confirmed? I thought this was rumors. Okay, I'm going to treat this as a rumor because it's not been official yet. But there's been a lot of rumors that Michael Andretti will buy Sauber. So whether it stays Sauber, stays Alfa Romeo, who knows? That'd be good though. Just I honestly feel like Sauber's not really done much in the sport. I mean, I could be wrong, but they've produced some good driving, but they haven't really done much in the last few years. But who the hell is this? Who the hell is Colton Herta? He's an IndyCar god. Okay. Hamilton arrives fashionably as always. Drip, drip, drip. So I saw every week we reacted to fucking Lewis's drip on Reddit. Carlos Sainz wins driver of the day for the Turkish Grand Prix, and I believe he said this was his first ever driver of the day. This is the only 12th race in F1 history without a single DNF. Do you really include the Belgium GP? I wouldn't, but yeah. Of course, Valtteri wins on World Porridge Day. Ocon completed the race without changing tire. This hasn't happened before in the V6 turbo. Yeah, okay. I was about to ask, has it ever been done before? I'm assuming it would have been done before at least once, but yeah, not for a while. Interesting question from a young fan of Verstappen and Stroll. Who would they support if they weren't racing themselves? Max, Fernando Alonso, I like his style. Lance, me too. I was rooting for him before I became a driver myself. Oh, everyone's a Alonso fan on the grid, it seems. Hamilton on Vettel's campaigning this year. I've been incredibly proud of Sebastian. He's discovered things that he's passionate about and he's not shying away from it. We speak often and we talk on these topics. Love to see it. Love to see it. The trophy to be rewarded at the 2021 Turkish Grand Prix. This trophy is sick. I want one of these. I want to go win the Turkish Grand Prix and get one of these. But yeah, someone said it was the 8th Turkish Grand Prix and that's why it's an 8. I thought there was more Turkish Grand Prix than that. Either way, trophy is so nice. The start, oh, so sick. Sky post-race coverage, frustration, all about Lewis. Yeah, it almost feels like a lot of the pundit, is that the word pundits? The analysts on the Sky Sports show have been doing it for so long that they kind of are getting bored of talking about the newer drivers and they rather talk about the controversial moments. Because, I don't know, yeah, I feel like there's a lot to talk about in that Grand Prix. Like, and again, it comes back to like both Lewis and Leclerc / Ferrari had that same issue, but they were only talking about Lewis. They weren't talking about Leclerc. Like it's always got to be about the British drivers, which is a bit annoying. But my painting of Lando with Lando. That's pretty cool. Imagine painting that and then he puts it up on his wall behind his stream. Stat line in 2021. Verstappen has finished first or second or been involved in a crash. Azerbaijan, lap 45, tire exploded. British Grand Prix, lap 0, DNF. Hungary, lap 0, collision. 9th. Italian Grand Prix, lap 25, DNF. Otherwise, Verstappen has finished first. So yeah, he's been very, very consistent. Very, very consistent. Sonoda wants Max to win and tried to keep Hamilton behind. Wants Max to win and try. Oh, I mean, why wouldn't Sonoda try to prove himself against Lewis? Water equals life. A special helmet for Seb this weekend as he aims to raise awareness for, I'm assuming, to take care of the oceans. Yeah, what do you guys see in this helmet? I mean, it's a cool gesture, cool meaning behind it, but I think the helmet looks kind of ugly. But it's nice. It's nice. It's nice. All right, we're done. We are done with the Reddit recap. We're down to 3K. Let's go have a look at F1 Fantasy. So here's my team for the week. I'm very, very happy with it. I generally can't think of a better team I could have done. I'm really, really happy with my team. I mean, Norris got 7th. Gasly got 6th. I don't know how he only got 1 point extra. Anyways, Verstappen got 2nd. Leclerc got 4th with turbo, so that's the best person I could have turboed on my team, so good I went with him. Russell beat his team, I got 6 points, and then I got the Red Bull with 59. So if you go to my league, I've jumped up from 19th to 8th. Let's go. So now I'm behind Mika and in front of Jackson. Yo, the gang is all together. So leading the fantasy, they've used their Mega Driver. It is Spider now. So Spider for the Turkish Grand Prix had the same team as me. 189, exact same. Nice, nice, nice. And in second place, who hasn't used their Mega Driver yet, or leading without the Mega Driver used yet, is T-Mac. You got 142, so 40 points less. So we're catching the leaders slowly. We're slowly catching the leaders. He went with Verstappen, Leclerc, Gasly. He turbo driver Norris, which wasn't the best decision, and then had McLaren and Alonso. So yeah, so he got unlucky with Alonso getting taken out. That could have been a pretty good pick. But yeah, I took out McLaren and replaced it with Red Bull because I had no faith in Ricciardo, and I generally thought that McLaren was going to have a bad weekend. So I'm happy I went with that. So let's see who had the best team of the week. The best team of the week was Trin with his Mega Driver. He had Norris, Mercedes, Mazepin, Russell, Leclerc Turbo, Verstappen, Mega Driver. So yeah, a few people were opting to use their Mega Driver and Verstappen this week as they thought that Max was going to get an easy win here with Lewis taking his pen, but as we saw, the Red Bull just wasn't up to pace. This wasn't too bad of a team. I mean, I don't know why 2 budget driver picks. I guess so you could afford these 3 Mercedes, but only really the top of the week because of the Mega Driver. But top of the week without Mega Driver was 206 points. Well, still 20 points more than me was Nogus, and he's got Bottas, Perez, Red Bull, Norris, Gasly, Russell. Wow, okay, so he got an extra 10 points than I did with Leclerc on Turbo Driver and Perez. He had, obviously, the winner, Bottas, and then Red Bull. So that's a pretty good team. That's a pretty good team. So I finished equal 10th. Yeah, so not bad. Only a few points off the best team. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Let's go over to F1 Play now. Let's see how we did. I think I did very, very bad this week. So Turkey, yep, 1 out of 10. So no one got 10, 9, or 8 out of 10. 0.3%, 13% got 7 out of 10. 0.5% got 6 out of 10. 1.76 6% got 5 out of 10. 5.8% got 4 out of 10. 11% got 3 out of 10. 22% got 2 out of 10. The majority were with me on 1 out of 10, 38%, and 80% got 0 out of 10. So let's go have a look at our predictions. So my predictions were a little bit out there. I thought Max was going to win because wet God, and I thought Lewis was going to make his way up to 2nd, and I thought Leclerc was going to round out the podium. I just thought I didn't trust Valtteri in the wet, so he proved himself to me, ending up finishing in 1st. I thought the fastest lap was going to be Lewis coming through the field, blah, 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 and being in the fastest car, but Valtteri ended up getting it. I thought highest finish was Leclerc, got that right. I thought highest finish was going to be Alonso, but obviously with him getting spun, it would end up being Stroll. I said first to retire was Yuki just because rookie in the wet. He was the first or second to spin. Yeah, no one retired. I said there was going to be 17 finishes. No one retired. I said there was going to be a safety car. There's no safety car. And I thought it was going to be a close race, but Bottas kind of pulled away like a god. So yeah, anyways, let's have a look at the league. Never, God, 4 out of 10. We got T-Mac, 3 out of 10. I swear, T-Mac, you're so good at F1 Play. You're always near the top. Then we got Crush, Gree, Fernandez, Forstic, Lemons, James, Redo, a bunch of guys on 2 out of 10, and then quite a few of us on 1 out of 10, and then a bunch of losers either suck or don't do their F1 Play. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up the Grand Prix review for the Turkish Grand Prix. I appreciate all of you who tuned in throughout the weekend on the Twitch channel for the watch-alongs. I really, really do appreciate it. Yeah, it wasn't the best race, but still another entertaining Grand Prix to add to the other 15 races that we've had this season. There's 6 Grand Prix to go. We've got the Americas coming up. Now, the Americas are going to be a fuck time for me. However, the Grand Prix reviews are still going to be happening. The watch-alongs are still going to be happening for qualifying and the race as well as the build-ups beforehand. So be sure to come onto the Twitch channel for those. And yeah, I appreciate you guys all tuning in this week. And I'll see you guys in 2 weeks' time for the United States Grand Prix.